Hello guys, I hope everything is going well. Um, Today we will focus on the post-flop aspect, which is one of the most important aspects when playing poker, is why we bet. What is the objective of my bet? So today we will try to answer that question. Globally, there is two different situations post-flop. When we bet, we can be either in bluff, either in value. So it's two very important situations because the objective of a bet in the different situation is not the same. When you will bet in value, so it's usually when you have good hands, you expect your opponent to call with a worst hand. And that point is very important. When you bluff, the idea is to make fold your opponent. But you want your opponent to fold a better hand. Because if your opponent has a worse hand, why would you try to make him fold? That doesn't make sense. So it's very important in the different situation we will have today to understand if we are valuing or if we are bluffing. I will not open 6-8 suited here because we have a recreative here that might call, and I'm just giving the reg in the blinds a good opportunity to squeeze. So I prefer to fold. Here, I'm against the recreative. So in that situation, if I bet, I'm not in bluff and I'm not in value. I have ace queen, so we have what we can name showdown value. So it means that most of the time, if I manage to go to the showdown with my ace high, it's an end that might win on the river. So the idea, especially against recreative and passive player, is try to bring this end to the showdown. And you will see that most of the time it's something that works perfectly. Usually recreative give the strength of their hand when they are betting or checking. So we'll take advantage of that. So by checking, I just give the opportunity to my opponent to bet, to decide of the sizing. So it might give me a lot of information. Here he betted very small on the flop, we raised, we betted the turn. The idea mainly is to get called by Jack 10 and Jack X. And on the river, we don't have value anymore. Unfortunately, he had Ace Jack, so we value cutted ourselves. It means that we try to take some value on the flop, we try to take some value on the turn, but unfortunately we didn't get called by a worse hand, but we got called by a better hand. So this is named value cutting. And this situation will happen often, especially when you try to value sin. So it means that you are very close to take some value and you still try to take some value. In this situation, unfortunately, you will value cut yourself a few other times. Here we can bet, we can check. When I check, I like it because I think he will bet most of his hand here. The turn is terrible, actually. When you check back on the flop, he has tons of showdown value. And if he has some showdown value, he has a lot of ace in his range. So now I don't think I'm able to take some value. And here when comes ace, we'll I'm pretty sure we're gonna split. So the idea is to make fold any end. But believe I can have 6. We got paid, and it confirmed my analysis. On the flop, he had some showdown value with a pair of 2 and an ace for a straight draw. Okay, most of my opponents are already tagged. Okay, this one looks sneaky for now. This one is very creative. So here I already identified the table that is not worth to play. So the one at the bottom right, either the one at the bottom left, and the reason is that I have one recreative here that is not max buy-in, and this recreative is sat at my left, and that's a big issue because it's more complex for me to isolate against that guy. Here we decided to squeeze with good blockers. That blocks jacks, queens, ace queen, ace jack. Here we decide to take the lead. I'm in position, so I'm just gonna call, and we'll have a pot size bet on the turn. That turn sucks a lot because he has some ace queen, ace jack. If he has king queen, he will slow down the action. I think I will target that king queen on the turn. I would bet small. And on the river is quite close. Do we have some value to take? And if we have some value, which hand are we targeting? In my opinion, we are targeting some king queen here. I don't expect him to check on the turn with ace jack or ace queen. So it's mainly king queen, queen 10. So I would just bet very small. I don't think if I shove, he's gonna call. I don't think if I shove, he's gonna call. That's the problem here. So to get called by a queen, I think 1/4 is great. I will use a psychological sizing just below €2. And let's see what he had. Up, up. Jack 10, whoa. We managed to take tons of value against Jack 10, awesome. Okay, a mistake would have been to raise on the flop. It wasn't necessary as the pot size was already big and we were in position. So I really hope you enjoy this kind of format. Don't hesitate if you have any question in the comments. I might do some mistakes, so it's always a pleasure to discuss about hands and strategy. Okay, so I will leave this table at the next big blind. Okay, I will stay on the bottom left because the recreative player is at my right. Up. Okay, I'm not gonna free bet, it's too low in my range. And ace 9 suited, it's very important to fold. I think in the next video I will make, I will talk about the call to free bet range. It's something very important, and I think that one of the most common mistakes is calling too much the free bet with marginal hands, off-suited hands, even pocket pairs. And I'm pretty sure that you put yourself in very tough situation post-flop, calling this hand. Okay, we don't have information on the players on the bottom right table yet. Okay, this one is not max buy-in. I will consider him as recreative. This one is max buy-in, so even if the difference between VPIP and PF4 is a little high, I will consider that it's a regular player for now. And this one is recreative. Not the best client, but he's actually more a NIT than a recreative player. I misunderstood the 71%. Okay, here I will either raise. I'm against the recreative, so I will increase a little bit the either raise size. So I think he will call exactly the same if I bet 45 or 55. So I prefer to use a bigger sizing. Pair of 10, it's a free bet. If you want to know about the free bet range, you can watch the previous video. 5-6 we can call, we can free bet. As the open size is very small, I prefer to just call. And pair of 10, I'm folding for bet. Here I was planning to check raise on the flop, because we have some really sexy backdoors. When you check back the flop, I would just bet half on the turn to get called by some Broadway overcard. And the idea is just to make all these hands fold on the river by betting expensive. And a nice play if he has a jack, ace, sorry. But most of the time they will not. And my bad, I should have either raise ace-9 suited here. I folded too fast because I told too much. So yeah, post-flop you always have to ask yourself, am I bluffing or am I valuing? And generally, if you're none of this situation, you are very often in a situation where you have some showdown value. And the best decision is usually to check. So when you're not bluffing and when you're not valuing, just check. We really want to take advantage of our showdown value, especially against passive and recreative player. Okay, here I'm against a regular player. I will just use my 1/3 sizing. Okay, check very fast on the turn. We have some value against King Jack, Queen Jack. I think we can bet 19. So here we are in value. We are trying to get called by King Jack or Queen Jack, or even some draw that are behind our combination. Check 8 off, I will open. Bottom of my range. Okay, checked that flop. Here my strategy will be to c-bet 1/3, but as I said, we have ace high, we have some showdown value. We are not bluffing, we are not valuing here when we bet. So we just check. On that turn, if he had bet, he has a lot of bluff, so I would call. But here, let's check back. We have some sort of value. And on the river, you will see that we will very often win with ace-high. And as I know that I have the best hand, I will try to get called by king-high, queen-high. So I will bet 1.5. I could even bet 1 big blind. Okay, on the flop we bluffed with queen jack. We have nothing, but we have some good backdoors. And when we hit the 9 on the turn, we have now some showdown value. So I check back the turn, and on the river, I think he would have lead with most of the 10. He didn't, so I will just bet small and target some pocket pair, maybe a 9. But here against fish, I'm literally playing the strength of my hand, but they don't know that. Okay, so he called the flop. Okay, so he might have some 10. I check back the turn, and when he checked on the river, I really consider that Recreative will bet most of that 10x. So when they don't, with my second pair, I have some value against pocket pair, 8, and even a 2. I didn't expect him to call a 2, but he did. Good to know. That's why it's very important to value scene, understand your opponent's range, and target the end that you want to value. And that way, you will use the best sizing to take value against your opponents. Okay, let's play that last hand. Jack off, it's a fold. And here, wonderful, I have a beautiful squeeze. I just hope that the Recreative on my right is not gonna shove. That would be terrible. Fold, and yay, let's go. Nice squeeze. Out of rake, 60 cents in the pocket. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any question or comment on specific hands, feel free to leave a comment below the video. And I really hope you understood why we should bet in bluff or in value. Good luck on the table, guys, and see you to the next video. Bye bye.